YouTube video. We've been playing board games a little bit together and we've been having a good time, and we all decided maybe it'd be fun to share what we do with YouTube. So the idea of the channel that we want to create is we want to start playing board games and then basically pick a new board game every week, every 2 weeks to play. We'll review it, go through it, give you some of the tips and tricks and lessons learned that we had, and at the end we're going to maybe give a review of what we thought of it, what ages it might be appropriate for, if it was boring, you know, and all that information, so that if you're looking for something fun to do with your family, you know, maybe these board games will be fun for you, and maybe they'll be a waste of time and we'll waste our time doing it so you don't have to. So, like I said, this is our first video. I'm Alex.
I'm Seth.
I'm Avalon.
And the game we'll be playing today is Catan. So, Catan is probably, if you've been searching for a board game to play, you've probably seen Catan pretty often. It seems like it's one of the more common of the, they call them the European style board games. You know, we all are used to the games like Monopoly and Life and all those. But games like Catan and some other games like Pandemic and a few other games we'll be trying out as we go forward, they're a little more complicated. They take a little bit more time learning the rules. But I think that our experience so far has been that they've been a lot of fun and they've been worth the effort of picking it up. What do you guys think?
Yes.
This will be fun.
It'll be fun?
Mm-hmm.
So, for today's video, this is a game that we've already played about 3 times, so this won't be a brand new experience like some of the future videos we'd like to make will be. But we'll still kind of treat it as though we're opening the box for the first time. We'll take a look at some of the pieces, and as we go through, we'll play a game, and let's see what happens. So, Catan. Alright. So we have the game overview. This is a manual with all the rules, the setup, everything that's going to take to play this game. Don't be intimidated. I know it seems like a lot. We were a little intimidated ourselves. It will take some time. Read through this. On the first page of our copy, they do give you a beginner's recommended settings. So if you're playing it for the first time, we used this beginning recommended settings and it worked out really well. So we definitely recommend that. And then as you go forward, you can kind of set it up randomly. And then, what do we have here? Show them the hex pieces. These are the hexagon pieces that we have. Let me hold up 1 or 2 of them.
There's the forest, the mountains, the mines, the wheat, and the fields.
These are your board game. These are what the entire game is going to take place on these pieces. So, unlike other traditional board games that are rectangular and fold out, these ones you have to put together and spend some time, you know, building it up. So, we're going to go ahead and get that set up here in a minute. Then we have Avalon here, has 2 dice. We have our... We can get them out.
I'll see.
Oh.
We have the thief.
The thief, that's one of our game pieces, and we'll kind of explain that a little bit.
And this is the place where the thief always starts off.
And what's that called? The desert, right. The thief starts in the desert.
Then we have the 4 building cost cards. These tell you how much it costs to build a road, a settlement, a city, and how much to buy a development card. And then we also have these 2 achievement cards. If you get either of them, it adds a total of 2 points to
your final score.
To your final score, yeah.
There are some action cards. These will come into play as you're playing throughout. You use these to either help your game or give yourself points towards your final victory. You can kind of do without. Some of these pieces will be for the more advanced playthrough, but in the beginning, it'll show you how to set them all up. And this bag here is just all the different pieces. You have roads, cities, and settlements for 4 different colors. Now keep in mind, this is only a 4-player game. So if you have more than 4 players, then you're going to have to get one of the expansion packs. And that will probably be a video for later. For right now, we're playing with 3 or 4 people. There is a way to play with 2, but it doesn't look like it'd be that enjoyable. I would recommend at least 3 or 4. Now, since we are the family of 3, there's only going to be 3 of us in a lot of these videos unless we have a guest join us or something. So for those of you who only have a small family of 3 like we do, this is a very enjoyable game with only 3 people, and it is kind of hard to find a board game that fits that criteria. So we're going to go ahead and start setting up the board, and once we get it set up, we'll talk about it a little bit more. So now we have the board all set up. We'll do some close-up views of it here in a second, but just from the kind of overarching view of everything, we have our game pieces separated. He will be playing with the white, she'll be playing with blue, and I will be playing with red. We have our resource cards here. The resource cards are how you build everything in this game. Resources are everything. So you'll need certain resources to build certain building costs, as roads, settlements, cities, or development cards. Luckily, they give you a really nice little reference card to explain it all to you. So if at any point there's not a lot of memorization, you just look at this and you figure out what you want. So the next thing that we have to do is get everything turned over, and then we'll be ready to roll the dice and see who goes first. Alright, now we have everything turned over. What we have essentially done here is we randomize the entire board. As I said earlier, you can use the beginner version if you want to have a preset board. And what that's basically going to do is it's going to even out the resources nicely. It's going to make it so it's basically a fair board for everybody, so you don't have to think too much. Because with the game of Catan, what we've realized in our couple playthroughs is the positioning that you start off with can almost pretty much determine if you win or lose the game. It is extremely important when you first start that you come with good positions, because this game is all about resources. So like I said, we've randomized everything, we're ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to roll the dice to see who gets to go first. We're going to start with the youngest. That's how we do it in the family of 3, we always start with the youngest. All right, ready? Here we go.
Whoever rolls the biggest goes first.
All right, so what did you get?
I got a 6.
Tell them.
I got a 6 on my die. 5 and a 1. There you go.
Oh.
6.
11.
He got a 9.
Oh. Oh, no, I didn't.
And I got a 7. So he goes first, and we go clockwise. So it'll be Seth will place his first settlement, then I will place my first settlement, then Avalon will place both of hers. When you do Catan, it's a snake draft. So you start, whoever goes first also goes last. So it's going to go me, or him, me, her, me, him. Alright, Seth, why did you pick that spot for your settlement?
I picked this spot because it has a 6 and it has an 8, and because of that, there's a high chance that I'll get the material that I am right next to.
Okay.
And I also chose this area specifically because it's next to 2 bricks, and bricks are very important in this game.
They are. Yep. And with that settlement, he's going to be cleaning up with the bricks. Okay. I'm going to place mine here next to the clay, the wheat, and the grass. And I'm going to place my first road going up this direction. All right, Avalon, you get to place both your settlements. So now Avalon will place both of hers.
Right here. Right here. Right there. Right there. Why I placed them there?
Why did you place your settlements there?
Because this is connected to 2 things that are really hard to get. The wood isn't really hard to get, but the ore is really hard. The clay or mine is really hard to get, and these numbers are all numbers that have a high chance of getting rolled.
All right. Now that we have the resources divvied out, all that's left to do is to start. So, from the adult point of view, I find this game to be incredibly enjoyable. It has a very enjoyable strategic element to it. It's not real focused on luck, which I think a lot of people like and are looking for. And I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a game to play, especially with a smaller family or with just a couple of friends. Seth, from your point of view, the
From a
teenager's point of view?
I would say that it's just a really fun game overall, and it really challenges your skills on like your strategic thinking and seeing how far that will take you. Avalon, what about from?
Do you think this is a game you would want to play with your friends?
Oh yeah, definitely. I would love to play this with my friends.
And is it a game you would recommend to anybody out there who has a kid your age, or maybe kids your age who are watching the video?
Yeah, if anybody out here knows somebody or has any children or anything like that, if they like puzzle solving games or if they like strategic games, then you should definitely recommend this to them.
All right, Avalon, give us the review from the point of view of a child.
From a 9-year-old's point of view, I think it's a fun game, and I would recommend it to littler kids. And it's really fun to play with friends.
Now, Avalon, as the youngest person here, would you say this game is too difficult for kids your age or younger than you to figure out?
For kids, maybe 2 years younger than me, 2 or 3 years younger than me, I think it'd be a little difficult for them to understand all the rules. But for a kid my age and a little bit higher, I think it'd be really fun and not very hard at all. Just kind of difficult to learn all the rules since there's a lot of rules for this game.
So there you have it. You've heard the reviews. I think the consensus is it's a very fun game. As she said, there is a learning curve in the beginning. There's a lot going on, so there's a lot to learn. Luckily, Catan did a fantastic job of arranging the rules in a way that makes it make sense. There's an almanac for when you're just trying to figure out something on the fly. So I think that is going to wrap it up for us. If you think this is something you're into, please follow us. At the bottom, if this is a game that you think you'd like to buy, I have linked the game in the bottom where you can go and buy it. And if you want to see more pictures or some more behind-the-scenes content, go to our Instagram channel listed below. So until next time, we're Family03.
Thank you so much for playing with us.
See you in the next video.
Bye!